right, cool. So let's get, what the heck did I do? Here we go. I got a couple other things that are recording on here. So, so we were doing the expanding. We were kind of messing around with that, but we wanted to do some of the factoring, right?
Hard stuff.
So we were okay with these, right? Now, personally, if you want to do Xbox for these type of problems, more power to you. But understand that the two numbers are going to multiply to this, and they're going to add up to the 9, right? So let's try to find some harder ones on here. Who wants to do? You guys want to try this one with the Xbox?
We already did.
Yeah, we already
You already did that one. Did we do this one?
No.
Let's do this one. Okay. What other one? We didn't finish this one? All right, well, let's go back to this one then. So here's what we're going to do. I already had one over there because I was doing it with somebody else on the Xbox method. So here's what we want to do. We're going to start with an X. What is X squared times negative 72? Obviously, negative 72 X squared, right? And then I'm going to put that in the middle. This came from the product, correct? This number came from the product of these. So I want two numbers that are going to multiply to this and combine to this. So let's see here. How can I get 14? Well, I can do 7.
18
I can do 7 plus 7, right? Did we already know the numbers already?
18 minus 4.
Okay. Well, then let's do 18x and negative 4x. Okay, cool. So I want those two. Let's make our little box for some factoring business here. The first one will go back in the first box. The last one needs to go into the last box. And those two that we found, you can put them wherever you want right there. Any preference?
Yeah. 18 on the bottom.
18 on the bottom. And then we got negative 4x here. So at this point, what you want to do is you want to factor out common factors. Okay? And you're going to go up and you're going to go across. So I like to go this way. And if you want to go down as well too, that's cool. It doesn't matter. What do these two guys have in common that we can factor out? They have an x. What do these guys? What do these guys have in common? 18, right? So there's a positive 18. Now, if you guys want to factor up or down? Doesn't matter. Up because there's more space.
Yeah.
So what do these guys have in common? X. And then these guys? A negative 4. See how they both have a negative as well? So we're going to take out a negative 4. So here's one of my factors, and the other one is x plus 18. And if I were to fully that out, I should get this back right here. Okay? So it's really nice, consistent way to get everybody where they need to be. Personally, I'm a guess and check guy, but I'm going to teach this way this year because I've heard people have great success with it with everybody. But if you're a guess and check and you're good at guess and check, stick with guess and check. I love it. All right, cool. Questions on here? Questions on any part here? You find them? Fantastico. Cool.
And I emailed you.
Yeah, and you can swing by after school so we can take a look at what we have so far, and then we can brainstorm because I want to get it done right. Wednesday, it's due Friday, right? Or is it Thursday? The 3rd? Thursday. So we need to get it done. All right, cool. Carry on? No? Okay. Here's this one. Whenever you're factoring, you really don't want to mess with negatives. We're going to take that guy out right there, Romo. So we're going to go negative x squared minus 13x plus 12, right? Why did what?
Hold on. Never mind.
We took out the negative. You never really want to mess with the negative on the front. Okay? So you can just take that bad boy out. Actually, you don't want anything in the front. Sometimes it's going to happen, but if you can avoid that, that's great. Now, this is going to be a little simpler, isn't it? Can you guys see two numbers that are going to multiply to 12x squared and combine to a negative 13x? Yeah, negative 12x and a negative x. Because negative is going to give me a positive, and then when I combine them, I'm going to get my 13 in there, aren't I?
Wait, hold on.
to the smartboard? That will fall. Can I stop holding on?
Wait, so you changed all the signs from the first.
Yeah, because I factor out the negative.
But then,
Why is it 13 plus?
Because we factor out a negative. We technically took out a negative 1. If I were to redistribute that, what's negative times x squared? Negative x squared. What's negative 1 times negative 13? Positive. Negative. Yeah, we just rewrote it by taking out a negative because we don't want to deal with that. We don't want to deal with it, man. Okay.
Wait, hold on. You don't.
Ladies?
Wait, sir. So how'd you get? You said it could has to add up to 12x, right?
It has to.
They have to multiply to here,
Alright.
and they add up to this.
Alright.
Multiply.
Oh,
You see it?
yeah. Yeah, I see.
Cool, cool.
And then you
Over here we go.
method.
Makes sense.
I'm glad it makes sense. Okay, let's go to the box. What goes in my first box?
The first.
x2. Negative x2.
This x squared. What goes in the last box? The
12.
12. And then in the other two
X.
are the two that I found, right? I'm going to go negative x here, negative 12x here. Okay?
Wait, so instead of using the first one, you use the second one, right?
What?
So,
Oh, I could swap them if you wanted to.
no, like the expression. So,
Yeah, I use this one because here's what's going to happen. Since I took out the negative, I can just do that, and then I get the other one in a little bit like that. That's just fine. Ladies,
Wait, so can we do that in Math Excel?
I know. I've been seeing her. It's all her fault.
Always.
Because she ain't got no one to talk to back there. All right, anyways, we're going to factor up, right? When we factor this way, we got an x here. And then what do we got on this other one? 12? So positive 12? Yeah? I shouldn't put that there yet. Then when we factor this way, we got a what? X. And nothing. A 1. When there's nothing, there's always a 1, right? There's going to be a positive 1. So, that means that we got x plus 1 over here. Let's double check that real quick. Let's ignore this. X times x is x squared. That is 1x, and 12x makes 13x. Problem here, though, it's not negative. We're missing a negative, aren't we?
I think it's in the 12. The 12, yeah.
In the 12? Did I do that right? Yeah. Okay. So in here, let's check that. Well, that doesn't work either. That one also needs to be negative. This got to be a negative 1 as well. Okay? You see it now?
Yes, sir.
These two are going to give me a negative 1, negative 12, that's negative 13. Negative makes positive, and then I've got that negative that I pulled out at the beginning. So boom, there you go. I want to see the one that has a factor in the A place. Can I get rid of this? I want to see a number in the front. Let's see what else I got here. That one was too easy. No, because we could factor that out. You guys want to do this one?
Yeah.
This was from last year. So for this one, it's not really any different. We're going to factor 4 out. So we're going to get x squared plus 5x. What's 56 divided by 4? 14? So we got that.
wait.
So does that
That
work?
divided that by 4?
Yeah, I took out a factor of 4. So 4 times all of that will give me this back. Where's my cafe? Here's my cafe. We're good?
Wait.
What up?
Oh, you took out the
I think we're gonna change the seating arrangement here. I trusted y'all for about what, 2 months already,
Yes, sir.
and we still can't keep it down. What? What are you talking about? I was talking to the ladies back there. Oh, the shoe fits word, huh? Were you talking to? No, of course not. Si le queda el saco. That's the Spanish version of if the shoe fits.
Wait, what?
In Spanish, they talk about the coat.
Wait, what?
They talk about the coat if the coat fits.
I knew that.
Did you? No, I know that now. Cool.
Wait, how do you say in Spanish?
No, see now I lost it. No. Si te cabe el saco, pues. ¿Verdad? Yeah.
I never.
Okay, anyways. What am I putting up on top here?
14x.
14x
14.
squared. Got to multiply the two. And it should be negative.
Yes, Marcy.
And then at the bottom
5x.
is the 5x. So I'm looking for two numbers that are going to add up to 5, but they're going to give me a negative 14. 7 and a 2. 7, 2, and then this is negative, and this one should be a positive. Right? That'll work? Okay, so let's go to box. What was in our first box? X squared. Last box? The last number. Any preference where I put these bad boys?
Wait.
No,
Yeah.
watch me. And you can write at the end.
Put the 2 on top,
Yeah?
please.
Shout. Okay, so we got 4 times whatever's here, and then we'll do the other one a little bit. I should change my color. Man. Ooh, watch me, watch me. Looking here, what do they have in common? An X. Over here, negative 2. Now going this way, looks like they got X, and then going this way, a 7. So we'll try that for now, and then we'll see if it works. So X times X is X squared. That's good. That's going to give you negative 14. 7 minus 2 is 5, and we're good to go. So here is the whole thing right there. Factor.
So do we not need to do anything with that 4? It's just kind of there.
It's just kind of there.
Just kind of there.
Just kind of.
Should leave it there?
You could, yeah, you need to leave it there. Because if you don't write it at all, then it's not the same problem.
Wait, can you multiply them?
Mm-mm. Yeah, don't do that either. I know what you're saying. Yeah, don't do that either. Yeah, this is the way you want to put into MATLAB. Just like that. ¿Qué pasó?
So whenever you solve that, like with the results,
We didn't solve anything.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, let's say they tell you to solve that one. Instead of giving you the 4x squared already, then I'll use it con el 4 por 4. Would you still do the 4 on the inside and then at the end multiply it by 4?
Well, are you expanding? Thank you.
You should have wrote.
You should have listened to the question. Now, you really want to look at the instructions. If it says expand, then you're going to go ahead and multiply that out. But if they're factoring, then you want all the components. You want to leave it the way it is. And right now we're factoring because what we're going to do is we're going to use this to find. Do you guys remember we were talking about graphing? You guys remember that? And we found the vertex, and then we said we can find the y-intercept with the 0, c business. And then I said, hey, but you know what? There's also these x-intercepts, right? So what we're doing right now is we're factoring because that's going to set us up to finding those other 2 points on our quadratics. So vertex we can get, y-intercept we can get. We're working our way to get those 2 other points. Okay? So you got to know how to factor this. You want it to be like this. Okay? That 4 isn't going to matter really, but if I start to multiply it out, it's not really the simplest form. I hope that answered your question. Kind of, sort of. Not really. All right, carry on then. What's your question?
Well, no, it's because I was just asking because you know how like right there we're like breaking it apart. I'm saying like if we were to put it back together, like to make that, is it ever gonna ask us to do that?
Yeah.
Entonces that's what I'm saying. So would you?
Yeah, but you probably don't have to worry. I don't think we're gonna do that in this course. But what they'll do, they won't even give it to you like this. They're gonna give you solutions, and they'll say, hey, you know what, if x equals 2, 5, and 8, what was the original function? So you're going to go from the answers alone, going all the way back to this. But I think that's in Algebra 3 honors, not in this course. I could be wrong. Thanks for not having your cell phones out. Okay, let's move on. Factoring this one, not a big deal, right? What do they have in common?
7.
So when we take the 7 out, we're going to get n squared minus 3. That's it.
Wait. Right now.
Okay. Where's your notes, please?
What?
Tome notas, viejón.
Okay.
What up, son? Of course.
Oh God.
How many slides?
Just this. Why? Yeah? We're good?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Here we go.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Okay. So here's the same idea. Now you've got a value in front with an A. Do me a favor, put your pencils down and just watch as I do this. That way you can see what's going on, and then you're welcome to write all you want once we're done. Thank you for agreeing with me. Same method here. I can't really factor out a 2 because you can't take 2 out of 11, right? So this is going to just end up being 11x in the middle. What's going to go up top? 24x squared. So I'm looking for two numbers that are going to combine to 11, and they're going to multiply to be in a 24. So let's see here. How do we multiply 24? Let's go with a 6 and a 4. Does that work? No. So let's do this. 5 and... I can't do 5 and 3. That will make sense. 3 and 8. There you go. That was not too bad. So 3x, 8x. That's the hard part. That's the hard part. So now we're going to go over to our box. What goes in the first box? 2x squared. What goes in the last box? 12. What's going to go here? The 3x, and over here? Okay, cool beans. Let's factor up. What can we take out?
2x.
2x.
Oh.
What can we take out here? 3. So here's one of them. Let's go this way now. Factoring out x. Here we can factor out a 4, huh? So now this is going to be x plus 4. Let's double check this. That's 2x squared. This is 12. Sure is. Let's do the middle now, because we're going to have to do outside inside for this guy. So we're going to have to do, what is that, 8x?
Yeah.
8x plus 3x is? And then we're done. So yep. Now you can write all you want. I think Upson is in the bed restroom right now. Do you got to go change your baby's diaper?
No. Well, how'd you get to 24x?
The 20. The first one times the last one. How was that? This takes a lot of guessing now. Justice, do me a favor. Will you take that blade and just set it down so that no one gets hurt? Don't put your fingers in there. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. What? Hey, just a heads up.
In 7 minutes?
No, I just remembered because if we ever have a fire drill, well, you know what? I'll tell you after we're done because I don't want this recorded.
That's so random.
I just don't let me forget. You know what I'm
You're gonna
doing.
You can just cut it out.
Can I change it?
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Who's still writing? When you? Okay.
Actually, it's not done.
I'm gonna give Justice some more time because she put down that blade for me. Be very, very quiet. Have you not seen Elmer Fudd? No? Oh, okay. That's why you didn't get it. You gotta go check out the Buzz Buster cartoons. Bugs Buster. Bugs Bunny. You had the little Elmer Fudd, right? You're like, be very, very quiet.
I've been waiting for a nap.
Yes.
Okay, so is Lily Toon with T-O-O-N?
Oh, yeah.
No, it's
No, it's now T-U-N-Y.
now it is.
Why?
Because it's a musical. Hey, it's your generation doing it. Come on.
Definitely not mine.
Okay, here we go. You try. You try.
Wait, so I have a question.
What's up?
Teacher, why don't you take away that two last one?
On the last one? What did we take away?
Two eggs.
We didn't take it away. It's right there.
No.
Because I couldn't factor it out. See, the 11 underlined? If I took 2 out, I'd be having a fraction there. Only if it's actually factorable, if you can like pull it from everything. Okay? Come around, come around, come around. You leave it. You left it. David, you got your ID?
But then how'd you get? Wait, sir.
You gotta factor out before this one. You can't factor out.
So it's negative on the bottom?
Negative 46. The middle goes down to the bottom.
I was like, oh wait, that she can be with me.
Oh my God, she opened her eyes. That's really creepy. So, numbers are there.
I'm so confused,
How
bro.
was that 43 eggs and then
Because he's saying they can actually all out and they can stuff so you would have to
Ever since then, bro, like,
keep it so you would have to multiply whatever you factor out, you just multiply that one and you still in the floor. And that's where I'm stuck at. Because what is negative? No.
Where'd you get 16?
Well, I don't, but you're supposed to no, the last two didn't. The first one was the first one was last year. Oh, so that's 12. So you just do out that one?
The 2 out ones?
Yeah.
product gives you the top one, and the middle one falls to the bottom.
That makes sense.
And then you wanna figure out the other two pieces.
Wait, so what goes here then?
Oh, you found it? And then what goes here? In the first box? The first one.
Oh, 4x.
And the last box. Yes, the last one. First box, first one, last box.
This is moving on.
Well, this guy.
I don't know. I don't understand how you
Oh, it's 62.
I can't see from I can't see from
It's negative 4. So it's negative 6. Was x plus 6 x. Well, yeah. Negative 6 x.
You have 2x squared. So, what we're doing is we're going to look at these two numbers, see what they have in common. How would break this up? We have 2 times 2 times x is equal. This one, why do they solve that? Negative 1 times 2. So,
That's all you're looking for.
Why do you want this my last call?
Like, unless you know place and why it's just, it don't matter which order they go in, as long as they're right. Like, as long as the binomial is right, it should be good.
now we'll look at this one here.
So why do just all this extra stuff, like,
Really?
set up whatever, this is all you're really looking for, all you just gotta do is put this on the side.
We have 2 in common, right?
Like, I understand it, like, your problem, like this one. This is different.
Yep, you just take all this common.
I want to know, how can I just my character? Like, what would you think about it?
And there it is.
No, I'm just seeing you wait.
He's like, you can have the whole thing. I gave it to you.
Oh.
What would you put? What did you already put? 12x goes right here.
Alrighty then. So we got a negative 6x and a 2x,
Yeah.
right? So let's go to the box. What's going to go in the first box? The first number. In the last box? The last number. Does it matter which ones I put here? Not really. Let's go with negative 6x and then 2x. Good? Okay. Right here, what do these guys have in common? 2x. What do these guys have in common? A 1. So there's that. Over here, going that way, they have 2x in common. Going that way, negative 3. 2x minus 3. And then you want to check, make sure that you are getting this back, because sometimes you might have to tweak it a little bit, right? Because you didn't get it exactly right. But there it is. I think this one works well.
It does.
It does. Cool? Alrighty.
I just remove those.
Deuces. Can I change this? Anybody writing it down? Okay, you try. Wait, that's the same one, isn't it? No. No. Okay, you try. I cry. You cry. We cry together.
You selling them for 25?
Use the restroom.
What?
Oh no, I forgot to take them out.
Ooh.
I saw
Got
it.
an extra.
Check on
Yeah, you got it right.
you got it?
Old man.
Is he sneaking that phone right there?
No, he was looking at the paper.
No, do you
Checking the time?
No, he was looking at the paper.
Yeah.
Just checking the time. So I know that wasn't paper.
About this one. Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
No, I know. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm doing. How'd you get 2X right here? Oh, that's that. My boy Steve said cool. That was everything. Wait, this one, that was. Okay, that's what I said. That's the answer, right? She was clear. She was moving like
I understand.
But my
It's
brother,
like,
they had a-
what'd you say? Yeah. Whoa.
No, I swear that white. It's rain. I swear it's a baby.
I'm sweet.
But that shit. I swear, bro.
Okay, what's your numbers multiply by 12 add up to 7?
3 and 4.
3x.
34.
4x. So let's go box time. What goes in my first box?
4X.
The first one. What goes in my last box? The last one. And then it doesn't really matter here. We go 3x, 4x. Going up. What do they have in common?
X.
Going up.
1.
1. Going to the left or to the right. What do they have in common? 4x and 3. So we got 4x plus 3. Let's check this out. Now the first ones and the last one should be easy. The middle one's the one that we got to check. So that's 3 and 4 makes 7. We're good to go. So there's the breakdown. Next one? Okay. Try this. Try this. Hey, can you factor out 4 on this one?
Yeah.
On this one you can, guys. Romo? You can factor out the 4 on this one.
Yes, sir. Shit, bro, I didn't even check.
That's why I never like really talk about it. And he is. But like, forever, but like I've known you forever.
Nah, I've been doing Shirley since like 4th grade.
Yeah, but so.
I know Adriana since fucking kindergarten.
Whoa, watch your words.
Zoe since.
Okay, let's move on. Let's go into bottom box.
Gloria since kindergarten.
On the top.
Can we just simplify it?
Oh yeah, if I forgot, thank you. Take out that 4, right? So you're gonna get 4 x squared minus 6x plus. Okay. So you've got, thank you. And then 9x squared. That's good. 3 and 3. Okay. Because they got to combine to be negative. Thank you. They got to combine to be negative value. Negative times negative is going to be a positive. So there's your breakdown. So let's go over to the box. Okay. Let's start here. What goes in my first box? The first one, x squared. And the last box? The last one. And then we've got negative 3x on both of the other two. So as we factor up, we have way too loud back there.
Plus 3.
You want to do plus 3? Let's do a plus 3 for now, okay? Or I'll just do a 3, and then we'll figure out whether it's going to be the plus or the minus. Going this way,
X.
we're going to have x, and then going this way, 3. So here, you just got to decide where the plus and where the minus goes. It doesn't really matter because multiplication is commutative. So it doesn't matter. So this number times that number just needs to turn out to be a negative. In this case, they're actually both negatives because a negative times a negative is going to give me a positive number. And when I combine them,
Negative.
yeah, when I combine them, they got to give me that negative. So there's your breakdown. We got 4 parentheses, x minus 3, x minus 3. Okay? All right, cool.